Trump kind of gets off the rails and mentions a lot of different things. He talked about earlier this week that dip in the stock market. He called it a quote-unquote crash. It was not a crash. He said that there are people on Wall Street telling him something that is just impossible to verify, and I'm going to get to what you're seeing on your screen in a second, which is that if Trump doesn't get elected, there's going to be a quote-unquote depression. That is obviously not true. What you're instead seeing play out in the stock market today is the Dow is up just about 700 points. It's vacillated between being up over 700 and just about right under 700. So as Trump talks about a quote-unquote crash in the stock market earlier this week, you're looking at live images of exactly what the Dow is doing as we speak. That's the first thing. Then he gets asked about abortion. He gets asked how he's going to vote on a ballot referendum in Florida about a key issue this election, abortion. He demurs. He doesn't say how he's going to vote. He says, I'm going to announce that at a later time. Then this is, by the way, we should point out, just a vintage Trump press conference in that it weeds into a bunch of different areas and it kind of talks about crowd size and things of that nature. It's clear that Trump has not been out on the campaign trail this week and wanted to, in some way, shape, or form, jump back into the headlines in a week that has been dominated by his new challenger, Kamala Harris, and her new VP pick, Tim Walz. To make that point, Trump talks about President Biden. He says that he doesn't believe Biden wanted to drop out. He says it's unconstitutional to have Biden drop out, which is not true. Biden dropped out on his own volition. There's nothing unconstitutional about that. He says it's unconstitutional that Democrats haven't had a primary process. That's not true at all. One more thing, just to show you how freewheeling this press conference is, to your point, Kira, is he does make that comment about crowd size. Somebody asks him about Harris's rallies and their crowd size and the fact that they have broken records for Democrats this cycle. And that is the thing that Trump seemed to have the most fiery response about. Clearly, it hits at him in a certain way. And he mentioned that he has big crowd size. And then he went on to say in a question about January 6th that he said he had a bigger crowd, or a crowd that rivaled MLK's I Have a Dream speech when he spoke to that Stop the Steal rally on January 6th.